Hey, welcome to another packed house at the BM show.
Yeah, it's actually BM squared again.
Hey, actually, well, no, it's sort of BM squared. It's BM squared if those seats were taken by the guests, if the guests named match.
Yeah, because we're back with the code names. Got it.
Yeah.
We can toss out the code names.
No, we can't.
Okay, we can not toss out the code names.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
By the way, I got to bring this up right now. Okay. So I was on a call with the private and one of his friends, and he's like, yeah, I was on my podcast and we were talking about, I'm like, dude, it's not your podcast. You were a guest on one episode.
You can say on this podcast or a podcast or some podcast, but don't say my podcast. You can even say a shitty podcast. Just don't take ownership of it.
By the way, Ben, I think you need to take a moment right now to thank Dr. G, because without him, you would not be alive.
Thank you, Dr. G, for
just doing my job.
Well, thank you very much.
It's just my job.
There you go.
I finally got to drive a Tesla. Thank you.
Oh,
that's true.
Yeah. How did I save his life? Sorry, I'm so busy saving lives.
By letting me drive your Tesla.
That saved your life.
Well, no, it was when after the 100th episode, he was ripped limb from limb, and then you glued him back together and resuscitated him a year later when he wanted to do the show after he came to Spirit to tell me that he wanted to come back and do the BM show. We just happened to have a doctor aboard, and that was you. So thank you for bringing Ben back.
Yeah, you got it.
My brain hurts after hearing that.
It's good that I'm also a witch doctor, as you say. That's also handy.
Here comes witch doctor.
He said, ooh. That's exactly the thing I thought of too. Play Dr. Mario. You know what? You should get. We got to figure out how to ROM hack and change that from Dr. Mario to Dr. G.
Dude, I had a Nintendo 3DS. I went to Germany with it, and out of all the games I had for it, the one I played the most was I played Dr. Luigi. Because it was free, and it was a free version of Dr. Mario. I played that thing nonstop for hours. I had all these great games like that people were raved about. Legend of Zelda, this, that, and the other thing, and Super Mario that, and whatever. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna sit here and play Dr. Luigi.
Sometimes all you need, so I get it. All right, so we got a show tonight.
Yeah.
But before we start the show, Ben, you want to give us a wrap?
All right, so this is Mike's Review Corner. He's here to review a bunch of games for you. Some of them are good.
All right, so this one's a kind of a special review since we have Dr. G and the Demon Slayer on. I figured I'd actually throw this one out tonight.
All right.
Silent Hill 2, the remake.
Is it a remake?
Yeah, there's a remake that just came out. I think it was, 2 months ago or something like that?
Oh.
Yeah.
You're like 2A.
So Silent Hill 2 and I have had a past full of frustration. I got it when it first came out, beat it, sold it, then bought the Xbox version for the Born for Wish edition. 45 minutes later, that ended way too early for the full price I paid. I just never had a reason to go back. I love the first Silent Hill to the point where I consider it the true Resident Evil since Resident Evil failed to impress me. But the second one on never really did it for me. But this is not why I'm giving it a thumbs down. There's a specific reason why it is auto not recommended. Going back to it, I remember why I didn't get into it, but at least I'm enjoying it more this time around. Instead of the controller this time, I'm opting for a mouse and keyboard. The controls this way feel a little jerky but manageable. The game is amazing looking, but for some reason, I really like the look of the Xbox version better. I think there's a point to me where games go too far into how they look and play to where I can't enjoy them. I guess that's all from being raised on NES and Atari. This version is treading that line between being outstanding and being overkill for me. That's not why I'm not recommending it, though. That's actually a reason why I would recommend it, even though the main character looks too much like Nicolas Cage or the frontman of Nickelback. The problem here is getting the game to run. There are so many people reporting issues with even getting it boot up. I'm one of those that had issues. The only way for me to actually get it to work past the first loading screen was to force DirectX 11. And I'm not running a hunk of junk either. So this tells me either one, the game is set up for people that have taken multiple reverse mortgages out on their home to afford a system that can run it, or two, something is not optimized properly. I'm banking more on the second entry, and I hope it will be fixed. If you get the game and it's running out the box, consider yourself lucky and you have an amazing experience. But it is such a roll of the dice that you might never get it running. If there is that much of a chance it won't run for anyone, I can't feel comfortable saying I recommend getting it. This might be one of those to look for on console to avoid the hassle of all the workarounds. But if you want to take a chance, I won't stop you. I guess you could always refund it. If you get it working, you'll most likely love the experience of this remake. And yes, I gave it a thumbs down.
Now, my question is this: is this out on all the consoles or only on Steam right now?
I think it's on Steam and PlayStation 5.
Okay, so for the fact that I'm sorry, I kind of spaced out while you were talking. When I edit this later, I'll actually be paying attention to it. When you did you actually enjoy the game of just getting it started that you were having a lot of trouble with? Or
basically it was not even loading at all for me.
Okay.
The game's not bad.
Okay, so if you have a PlayStation 5, you would actually recommend this?
If I had a PlayStation 5, I probably would recommend it.
Okay.
So it's just the problem and it's not just that solution. There's like all these different solutions, and everyone's working differently for everyone else.
Is this one of those things where they put it like DRM on it and that's messing it up?
I don't think so. I think it's just the way that they have it set up. It's just it's definitely hungry for a decent system. But something else, I don't know if they just didn't. There's some tweaking that they need to do, because I think the most recent update is when a lot of the problems really started for people. Like people had it running, and then all of a sudden now it's not running.
This is off topic, and we could pull it right back. But I just wanted to talk Indiana Jones, this new Indiana Jones Circle of Life, I think it's called. This came out, and it is getting rave reviews. I watched video of it, and the specs that you need on your computer are ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like they recommend that you have the top of the line video.
Yeah. I have a feeling that Silent Hill 2 is also, treading that line too.
Mm. Yeah, because they wanted a 7700 Radeon, and I have a 6700. So I'm like, geez, they want like the next generation. Not that I have the newest one. I don't have the newest one, but it's
they might be just saying that so you have like all the full, what is that, ray tracing and all that stuff, because it looks cool with that. But it'll probably be able to run like Silent Hill. I looked up the specs on my computer, and it'll run.
Yeah. Most of them will run. It's just you're not going to get this beautiful reviewed look. The video full picture I'm watching on this review on Digital Foundry, where it's like it literally. I'm not even kidding. I was watching a side by side with the movie because somebody else posted a video, and at one point I was fooled on which one was the game and which one was the movie.
Yes, I've seen a little bit about it, and I saw a review. Yeah, it's impressive.
It's very impressive, and it's like to get that though, you need to like dump like $5,000
or 1/10 of that and get a console.
But that's not the reviews between even that and the PlayStation 5 Pro. They're saying it doesn't look as good as it does on a PC that has the max specs.
Yeah, an $800 console versus a $5,000 PC.
Yeah, no, just saying like if you wanted to get the picture that is the best, you're going to be spending thousands on it. That's the point.
Yeah.
And let's go back to Silent Hill because
that's all I had for it. Just that review.
Oh, okay.
So I just kind of want to throw that guy at you because I know that, the two of them, Dr. G and I, we rolled in Silent Hill together.
We got stories.
We do have stories.
You were rolling together in Silent Hill?
Yeah.
Some dark days, man.
Foggy days.
Foggy days.
The whole fog thing with the Silent Hill series is pretty interesting because it was all so that they didn't have any type of loading on the first game.
Yeah, that was a loading trick. It's quite genius.
Yeah.
And it's also been like used a million times by other games now, but it's like now they don't even. They remember when the PlayStation 5 was launching, they're like, "Oh, we're for the first time ever, we're gonna have no loading screens. Everything's just gonna work." And then like the very first game I played for PlayStation 5 had loading screens.
Yeah.
I'm like,
nothing beats loading with Dead in the Water.
Loading screen.
Loading to the loading screen.
Mm-hmm, yep. Got to load your loading screen. Hey, I've been playing. I played some of Silent Hill 2 on the Retroid Pocket, and I was trying to do this hack so it runs a little bit tiny bit better on because of the fog, but it was a fun little blast from the past, and I can only imagine. I've seen recent pictures of the Silent Hill remake, and it was like they redid everything, the camera angle, the whole combat kind of thing, right? And I'd be psyched to do that, but it's a huge difference. But when I look at it, it's still got the vibe, and that was the thing that I love the most about it was the vibe.
Mm-hmm. Well, you may be able to run it if you want to spend $70 and roll those dice.
Yeah, actually, I looked into it to see if I'd be able to run it, and I probably would be able to run it just okay. But yeah, I don't pay $70 for a video game.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I pay $70 for a system.
I'm looking at this Indiana Jones, and the Indiana Jones, it was like, it's on sale. And I'm like, oh, cool, it's on sale. So I click on the thing, and it's like, on sale for $60.
Yeah.
I'm like, on sale for $60? And it's like 15% off or something. Like, the normal price is like $70, $80 something dollars. And I'm like, when this game's going to be like $20 next year. Because as good as this game looks, it's just Tomb Raider / Uncharted. It's funny that the movie that they based Uncharted and Tomb Raider off of is now a game that is copying off of the two.
That's why they call it. Was it Indiana Jones in the full circle of ripping off the games?
Yes. It's Indiana Jones in the circle of life. It started with him and it ends with him.
All right, so you ready to jump to something else really quick?
And now for something completely different.
All right, so I told you about this one, Ben. I've been wanting to do this, but since we got the two of them on there, how about Brownshire, a quickie? Got a quick question for you here. Okay, so since we're doing music tonight, I got a little quickie question for you guys, music-based.
Okay.
So picture this. You just died. And you're looking up and there's God, and you're like, please, I hope I did a good job. I hope I did everything right. All of a sudden, an elevator descends from up above down. The doors open, light shining out of it, and you're like, oh, yes, this is awesome. You walk into the elevator, the doors close, and you realize it's starting to go down. And it's going down at an accelerated rate. And you at that point, you see, I'm not going the right way that I was hoping. All of a sudden, because it's an elevator, the elevator music starts to play. And it plays the most horrendous, annoying, hated song of your life that will now be your eternal suffering on your descent down into the fires and from then on. What song is playing in that elevator descent for you guys?
Henry VIII I am, Henry VIII I am. I got married to the widow next door. She'd been married 7 times before, and everyone was a Henry, and every other one was a Fred or Fred. Henry VIII I am, Henry VIII I am. Second verse, same as the first.
No, you're good.
Bit faster and a little bit
all
worse.
Right, we just needed the first time. Thanks,
and
man.
It never ever ends. It's the same song. It never stops and starts again. It's just continuing nonstop.
All right, so Dr. G.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. It's fantastic when you're plastic. And any Kesha song. Let's see. All the crap Jen puts on in between her Taylor Swift songs.
Nope, just one song. Is it Barbie Girl?
Yes, that's the song.
Awesome.
So Barbie Girl forever. Oh, geez.
Demon Slayer, which would be
Yeah.
probably
So,
one.
oh man, it's hard to think of just one. I say anything my mom likes.
Anything your mom likes.
That's because my mom used to be like one of those people from Footloose, almost. Like she just scorned anything and everything until she hit a certain age, and then suddenly she's like, "Oh, I want to be cool," but this was only like I don't know 8 years ago, and so she's way behind the curve. But now she just loves the most cringeworthy '90s stuff. So if I had to pick one, I would say the Train Drops of Jupiter.
Train Drops. I don't know.
It's actually not bad.
I mean, they're not bad songs, but it's just like my mom only likes the ones that the rest of us are sick of because they got played to death in the '90s. So any of those songs that you heard everywhere, 8 trillion times, those are the only things my mom will listen to. She refuses to play anything else.
This is a great transition for me. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Wait. You inspired me. I get another one. It just popped in my head. I just got to say it so bad. I just got to get it off my chest. You guys ever heard this Christmas song, Christmas Shoes? I think it is.
Nope.
Do not look it up. Do not listen to it unless you want to torture yourself. Oh my God.
Dude, I'm looking it up right after this episode.
No. Okay. I'm going to try to remember it in my impressions of it. Something like this. Okay, it's there's some little boy came up to me and said, my mama's gonna die and I need some shoes for my mama. I don't have any money. Mama's gonna meet Jesus tonight and she wants to look pretty. It's just so stupid.
I'm looking that up, dude. And since it's Christmas time, I'm definitely looking that up.
I love your rendition.
All right, for me, I'm also going to go ahead and sing mine, but I've kind of changed the lyrics to fit the situation. So mine would go something like this. Well, the elevator opens and I step inside and the doors close on up and I go for a ride and I scream at the top of my lungs, I hate this song.
Yeah.
I never understood. This song was not good in the 90s. Why does it... Okay, so this is one of the songs the 3 songs that always have to be karaoke. They have to, and it drives me nuts. So the other 2 is you always have 3 really skinny drunk girls singing Baby Got Back. And then the other one is, the third one is you have that 50-year-old woman in a tight dress sitting in the dark corner of the bar that just, all she does is come up and sing Black Velvet and then goes back to her corner.
I love these 3 skinny ass white girls singing "Baby Got Back."
It's true, and the one with the least ass is the one that turns around and shakes it, while the other 2 laugh like it's funny.
Yep. And
it is kind of funny, right?
You get the girl who comes in and she's barely wearing anything, and she gets pissed off when a guy looks at her. Yeah, we know that. Yeah.
Well, I've been there.
Yep. Why are you looking at me? Stop looking at my chest. Honey, the only thing not covered are the nipples.
All right, so now I
get that all the time. Sorry, I know I got to. Yeah, start wearing more. I mean, it's the chest hair. It just kind of pokes out. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, poor man.
So after that, we have our topic now.
Okay.
Topic is groups or an artist that you used to like, and multiple, bring as many as you want, that you used to like, that at this point now are they're only good for CD coasters. So just to kind of give you an idea how this topic came to be, is lately I've been listening to a lot of my CDs just to kind of go through who is still worth listening to. And I got to a specific artist, and as soon as the first song played, I just started dreading it. And I'm like, why did I ever get this? Why did I ever get into this person? And you know, this was during a specific era of my life. Like you have like the Paleozoic era, you have the Mesozoic era. This was called the Shauna era.
I remember the Shauna era. That was an interesting time in history.
I mean, if the Shauna era was a person, it'd be a cool person, but it's an era.
Shauna was a cool person that introduced you to some cool music that I actually liked.
So since you know what, since we've been all singing, I think I took some time. I decided what I'm gonna do here, and then I changed the words a bit. Now this is gonna be me on extreme 11 in some parts.
Cool.
But for the first artist, one of their songs should go like this. Yeah, I'm making another crappy CD of boring songs, tried as can be. Oh. So I'm sure, Matt, you got to know who that is, please.
No, I don't.
Sarah McLachlan.
I had a feeling.
Sarah
but I didn't
McLachlan,
know. I didn't recognize the melody.
I look at her CDs and I go, okay, I got like, I don't know how many CDs of her, 4 or 5 CDs. And I think out of the 4 or 5 CDs, I could squeeze about 2 songs I'd actually ever want to listen to. And she also has the most dull and uninspiring, overplayed song. Sorry about that, Dr. D. I gotta say this, that I have to keep reliving every single time there's a commercial about abused cats and dogs, and I just don't ever want to hear that song again in my life.
Fly away from here. Come on, harmonize with me. Harmonize.
I don't remember this. I just know it's annoying, and it kind of goes like that.
Yeah.
Look at this poor kitten. Look at this poor puppy. Oh, if you don't want to give us money, it's because you hate kittens and puppies. You are evil. You evil people. You're going to change the channel, aren't you? You evil bastard.
Give money, I'm going to come to your house and sing Angel in person straight to your face.
They hold like a cat up by like their head, and they just have a knife, and it's like, if you don't give us money.
In the arms of the angel, this cat goes.
I actually think that song is awesome. Like,
I know you
seriously awesome.
I know you do, and I know you covered it, and I know, and I listened to parts of your cover, and you know, I had to. So you did a good job, but I also had to do that. Okay, yeah, that's a good song type of thing. I'm sorry, but I don't like that song. It was one of the worst songs on that CD, and that's saying a lot since I don't even think there's any good songs on that CD. Or most of them, her stuff.
If you don't give us money, we're going to kill this puppy.
Who's going to meet Jesus tonight?
All right, so who's next? Who's got something?
I mean, I got several, so.
All right.
I organize them into categories.
Uh-huh.
All right, because I got like too many. I'm not going to go through all of them, right? But the first category is things that I liked when I was younger because they were just angry sounding.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm past that. So like 2 examples would be Korn and Limp Bizkit. They're not necessarily very good. The music is just meh. But they were very angry. And I was young and I liked anything angry. But now I'm like, no, there's stuff that's angry, but also well constructed.
I wouldn't get me angry if I were you. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Okay, so Dr. G and I were in a band a long time ago with just a drummer, it's just 3 of us. And then he dropped out and we added another guy. And this other guy and I, we had this whole joke about Korn, like, it all started when we were driving down, we were getting off the freeway, and there's this guy that looked like he would be a member of Korn. And for some reason, we were talking about Korn that day. And then I pointed out this guy to him, and he goes, Korn? And then after that, whenever we saw anybody who looked like they'd be Korn, like Korn.
And now they use it on social media instead of saying porn, they say corn.
You guys seen the thing with the kid that goes crazy over corn, and they turned it into a song?
Yeah.
I remember that. And then like
you said corn.
The thing went viral, and then like I guess like the people from like the National Corn Association or whatever, like whatever the group is that represents all the corn producers, they hired the kid to do a commercial or something. And it died out just as fast as it caught on. It's like to talk to a girl.
Yeah, that's how they go, right?
Yeah. I still quote it. I'm like, it's got the juice.
So here's corn songs can be so easily replicated because they have a certain formula to them. They all start the same all, and then it falls out like, and then
they sound like turkeys. That's
every Korn song right there.
You just sounded like every animal from the tropical rainforest, dude.
Mike, if you keep this up, we're gonna get hit with a copyright strike, dude. You sound just like the album.
When the guitar makes weird noises and the guy starts whining, that you hit the verse.
You notice that no one's giving a crap about Limp Bizkit at this point. We just like sailed right over that one.
Limp Bizkit, oh my god, that was like I remember when they were like really big, and then somebody went and saw them in concert, and they're like, dude, they suck live, and like that's always been like my gauge with bands is like, you could have a bad album, but if you're good live, then to me you're a good band. And when I heard that they were bad, and then what's the other one? Smash Mouth. I heard Smash Mouth sucked live too.
Ben, do me a favor. Can you rate the Korn albums on a scale of Limp Bizkit to 10?
I don't know any of the Korn albums, so.
Okay, I don't know if you guys know this because I don't have any memory whatsoever, but I don't have any memory. So, What are the hits of Limp Bizkit?
Who is this?
We did it all for the
memory of you.
Okay, all right.
I think that's the only song they had, right?
What?
Oh, they had a whole shit ton of singles back in the day. Like, it's shocking how many hit singles they had.
Who?
They had like 7 different hit singles.
Who did?
Limp Bizkit.
We're talking about Limp Bizkit. Okay. Well, Limp Bizkit had like a whole thing. They had like an album that was like really, really big, and it was one of those CDs where I never owned it, but everybody I knew had it. It was
I did too.
Something about hot dogs or something. I forget.
Yeah.
Space hot dogs. I forget the name of the title. I don't care. So it was some weird long title for an album, which is like it was almost as long as how I learned to stop caring and love the bomb.
Yeah.
They were a flash in the pan. They were all over the place. Limp Bizkit. At one point they were like WWE had them like at one of the WrestleManias, and I was just like, they're not very good. They're one, like they have one song that I kind of like, and the rest of it I have no interest in buying their album. I don't want to hear more of them.
Yeah.
Do you remember Green Jelly?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
First they came out, they were called Green Jello for like 2 minutes, and then the Jello company jumped in and stopped that, and they became Green Jelly, and it was like this song about like the 3 little pigs, and it was like
little pig, let me in.
So I had the video, their whole video thing, and I took that over to Dr. G's, and it starts with a different song, and he was looking at me like, "Why do you like this?" And then I think it did Little Pigs after that, 3 Little Pigs. And after that, we were just like loving the thing.
That group, I think I was like in 8th grade or something when they hit. And it was like for 5 minutes, they were the biggest group on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just died so fast.
Actually, I wrote them a letter, and one of the dudes responded to me.
Wow.
And he was still in the character because I was like talking about like the guitar tabs. He's like, I don't think our songs are going to be that hard to figure out because we really suck. Oh my god, this guy's still in character doing this.
He's just really honest about it. He's like, I don't know why people are paying money to us, but fuck it. Beats my lawn mowing job. What's that?
Dr. G, you got one, Dr. G?
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna start with like the worst kind of stuff possible, probably that I actually liked, but of course I'm gonna have to go back to like 13 years old or something. When I was discovered heavy metal, like the worst one of all to me, I think, even though there's some really horrible ones, the worst one that I really liked at the time would be Megadeth.
Megadeth. That was one of the most memorable concerts I ever been to.
Yeah, was it Dave Mustaine or whatever?
Yeah, Dave Mustaine.
Yeah, who would sing like Popeye the Sailor.
I went to a Megadeth concert when I was like 18 years old, and it was when those laser light pens were starting to become hot, and people were shining them on Dave Mustaine. He literally stopped the concert in the middle of a song and had security escort the guy out of the concert. And I've never seen anything like that in person. I've seen video of stuff like that happening, but that was the only time I've ever had that happen in person, where somebody literally stopped the show.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a good show. I was like in the 5th or 6th row. I was very close to the stage.
And that's probably why he got kicked out of Metallica.
Well, the whole thing. He was for people who don't know, he was the original lead guitarist for Metallica, and they had a whole thing where he was also a raging alcoholic at the time, which I think the whole band was. But he was the worst of them, and that got him thrown out of the group.
Which I think Metallica were pretty much alcoholics as it was too.
Yeah, I just said that.
You got to take it a step further than if you're going to get kicked out for being an alcoholic out of a group where they are alcoholics.
Yeah,
he was so bad of an alcoholic that like groups literally there's songs about James Hetfield's alcohol addiction. He doesn't like go and like actually call it my alcohol addiction, but there's like if you listen to the songs and know that he's an alcoholic, you can hear it in the words that he's talking about alcoholism. So yeah. But yeah, it's that was a good concert. I liked Megadeth, but now if I went back and listened to it, I can maybe listen to like Countdown to Extinction, like the song, not the album, and maybe like a few other ones, like the one with the because just that bass riff is awesome. What song? Peace Sells, but who's buying?
Yeah, and what I thought was hilarious is that he wrote like the music for, was it the Four Horsemen? I think it was, and then he makes his own song with the same music and a different like words, and
I think I think James wrote the words.
That's impressive. Sort of like, okay, I used to be part of these guys. Look.
Yeah, and I think they even did a concert or two together where they might have did a tour at one point where because they buried the hatchet since. Like he knows that he could have 10 times as much money if he was still in Metallica because they've been 10 times more successful. But
100,000 times more money.
I'm being generous. But I'm sure he's made enough money where it's like how comfortable of a life do you need to have? Do you need to have it where you can afford your gold-plated toilet on your gold-plated jet?
Dave Mustaine would be lucky to play Vegas. Metallica is they can't get out of their Scrooge McDuck vault of cash.
I know. They're the ones who ruined Napster. Not really. The record industry was on them anyways, but this
is the drummer mainly.
Yeah, Lars Ulrich was the figurehead of what ruined Napster. Back when you used to go and say, all right, I got like 5 songs set up to download. I'm going to go to bed, and when I wake up, hopefully all 5 of these songs are done.
Yeah.
Now I download stuff so fast. Like, I remember when I first got my fiber internet put in, I was downloading stuff so fast. Like, I would blink my eyes, and I had like a whole movie downloaded.
Lars Ulrich is like the Lieberman of music.
Oh, God.
Is that I'm thinking of Tipper Gore.
Joe Lieberman is why we have the ESRB.
Okay, I thought it was Tipper Gore.
Probably too. I think so.
I think she had a hand in it too. But yeah, that was the whole thing where Night Trap came out and Mortal Kombat came out, and honestly, I think the rating system is a good idea. I do. I don't like that they had to go and force the video game industry into it. It was one of the reasons I actually liked having a Sega, because now that they had the ratings out, that meant that Sega could be more edgy. And that's probably why they did it, because now we can be more edgy, because now we go and say, hey, there's nudity in the Sega CD game, but you really shouldn't be showing it to Junior. The thing is, like, there's not even anything in Night Trap. Night Trap is a B movie. If anything, we should be reviewing it for our movie reviews.
All right, Ben, here comes the lasso to pull you back here.
There we go. We're going back in.
So, anything left on Megadeth? All right, Ben, you're up.
I said green jelly.
Oh, you did do green jelly. Okay.
I mean, if you want, I can talk about Paula Abdul if you want.
Okay, Paula, that works. All right, so that I guess brings it back to me.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, for my next one, I gotta sing this one. That is my career, but I am still here writing crappy songs. I hope you'll sing along. Dig through the garbage and bins full of bargains. You'll find all the albums of Rob Zombie.
Good job, man. That's good.
Oh my gosh, dude. Okay, so another one that's going to be later did the same thing that Rob Zombie did. If you are the least talented person in your group and do not know music, the worst thing you can do is fire your whole band.
That was high school. Rob Zombie became so big, and I felt like an outcast because I didn't see the beauty of his genius. And I'm like, I don't get it. Like, it's okay, but it's like, I don't see why people are like, oh, Rob Zombie, I got his album. Did you get the new Rob Zombie album? I'm like, how about you get the new Ozzy?
Yeah.
It's the same fucking genre, except Ozzy's good.
It went from being like, their stuff is like really well put together. And then it's just so bland, straightforward rock. You know that he was frustrated with his band actually doing good stuff. Is like, I need to get a band that will just do what I want to do and make it as like basic as possible. And at this point, there's actually one good Rob Zombie song, but the rest is just dribble that sounds all the same.
Yeah, he seems like he's more of a producer than a musician.
Oh, he shouldn't even do. Okay, never mind. I was about to go get started on his movie stuff, but we.
Oh, you want to go on? You want to go to Halloween and how he took John Carpenter's beautiful movie and fucking ruined it? Yeah, we can do
that. Dude, I don't understand how anyone likes a Rob Zombie movie. Just straight out.
It's meant to be bad. It's meant to be bad.
They should do. Rob Zombie should produce a movie. He should write, direct, and produce a movie starring Adam Sandler, and just be a comedy where Adam Sandler could do all his 90s shtick and just have it. But it's a horror movie where he dies at the end.
Isn't that what Billy Madison already is?
Oh man!
All right. So, Demon Slayer, what you got?
Okay. So my next category is oh crap, what is the term for it? Well, basically anything that sounds like Pearl Jam. And it's not the instruments are bad.
Can I kind of interject one song with that? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so my last category were bad bands that I liked for bad reasons. These are good bands that I dislike because I just can't handle it anymore. Like, they're super depressing, and I just can't take it. And so, yeah, I can't listen to them anymore. And so Pearl Jam's like the number one prime example, but there's probably like loads of other ones that are like equally depressing.
Hey, Barry don't like to listen to us. What it's all was dirty.
I was about to jump in with one of mine because I thought he was going towards a Pearl Jam path, but I'll wait on it. So, yeah. But yeah.
I remember Pearl Jam. That was in middle. I was in middle school, and that was like the huge song. And it's like it's about some kid going in and like shooting up his class or something, if I remember correctly. Or was that about
Jeremy?
it?
Yeah,
Jeremy. Yeah.
The
That was like the big song, and it's like, and then Columbine happened. I'm like, Jesus, man.
Yeah, that song was very much overplayed.
Yeah, so that too, like it's just heard it too many times, but also just super depressing. And a lot of the other grunge bands were, I feel similar. Like they're not bad, like they're competent musicians, but I can't take it.
They have
now
so
have
many.
To jump in.
They have so many albums that came out, and like the only one that anybody cares about is that one 10, the album 10. Nobody cares about any of their other albums.
So I have to jump in for a second. I'm sorry, because you mentioned grunge bands. So I'm going to throw one out that is on my list because it does fall into that grunge band. I'm just going to do it really quick and then we can move on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Here We Come to Sing Some Music. Oh, yeah. Yeah, here come the music. Yeah. You know, it ain't very good.
I'm gonna harmonize with you.
No. You know, it ain't very good. Ugh.
See, that song there, that takes me back to also the middle school summer camp. It was like one of our camp counselors was like so into Alice in Chains, and it just he played that like nonstop.
Well, they were probably one of the bigger ones of grunge.
I actually enjoyed Alice in Chains. They were my favorite. My favorite was, I think, was I can't remember the name now. I think it had the name Candle in their name.
Oh yeah.
What's
Candlebox is really still good. Candlebox.
Yeah, Candlebox. I liked Candlebox. And I liked Alice in Chains, but it was like just overplayed. Same thing with like we were talking about Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam was good too, but it was overplayed. Everywhere you went, over and over again. You go to the mall, you're in Hot Topic, you're playing Pearl Jam while you're looking at a Pearl Jam T-shirt. You
guys don't even know what it's like when you're playing in bands with guys and you go and play shows and you go and check out all the other bands, and half of them desperately think they're not just trying to be Pearl Jam. They think they are Pearl Jam. They're like doing every little mannerism, over exaggerated Eddie Vedder stuff, and every single one of them wants to sing like a horse.
well.
So to the Demon Slayer, I got to ask, what specific grunge bands would you say besides just Pearl Jam? What other ones?
I mean, that's why I gave it as a category, because I'm having trouble thinking of them off the top of my head.
Would you say Nirvana? Is that in there?
No.
People will kill you.
And the reason why for Nirvana
they're like the Ramones. Some people.
Yeah, well, because Nirvana is like I can just kind of like zone out and not like pay attention because the lyrics are mostly gibberish. So like it probably is depressing if I actually like studied it and figured out what they're about, but I never did.
Mm-hmm. I every time I think of Teen Spirit, I end up singing "Smells Like Nirvana."
Yeah.
A little lyric.
That was a good one.
What is this song all about? Can't figure any lyrics out. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
So what about Alice in Chains for you?
I love Alice in Chains. But they are kind of depressing, so I generally stay away from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, especially like the main album that everyone loves, Dirt. I mean, it's literally just about him slowly dying from his heroin addiction. Like, I don't do that.
You want to talk about like this horrible grunge scene stuff? Remember Hole?
Ugh.
Love.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's what a woman to hold the she holds like the IP for Nirvana. Oh my God. Like I was watching. Okay, so I at Goodwill I found the best of Molly Shannon, which by the way, if you ever get a chance to watch this, just poke your eyes out because you don't want to watch this. It's a horrible video. But she was making fun of Courtney Love, and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about Courtney Love. And she just presents her as like this dope fiend slut.
Yeah,
I could see that. Well, I heard that the guitarist I was talking about, the Korn guitarist I was talking about, he and his buddy went to went to a concert, and Hole happened to be there, and she said on stage, "All men have penises, therefore all men are rapists."
She's not looking for attention at all.
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't think I want to bother with this.
And like I said, she owns all the Nirvana stuff. Like anytime, because I guess there's a whole bunch of unreleased stuff that she keeps teasing people with, and I'm like, honey, it's been 30 years. I'm kind of over them.
Yeah. Dr. G.
All right. Okay. One that I liked a whole lot, and they still actually have some cool stuff, but pretty much everything after a certain period, AC/DC.
Yeah, after a certain period, as long as you threw that caveat in there, because it's like, I think after. I mean, I like the Razor's Edge, but everything between, for those who bought the Rock, We Salute You, and the Razor's Edge, if you just eliminated all those albums, because there's like one good song in all those albums, and then everything else, actually everything after the Razor's Edge, you can get rid of too. The Razor's Edge was just a really good album. They must have like said, hey guys, if we don't do a good album, people are gonna stop listening to us. We're gonna put stop letting this yearly bullshit we've been doing and actually put a good fucking album together. And they did. Razor's Edge is awesome.
I got my seventh wife just took my roles, so I gotta put out a good album, mate.
It is one of my regrets in life that I never got to see AC/DC live in concert. And like they went on tour with like Axl Rose at one point. I'm like, yeah, I don't like Axl Rose. Not as a performer. I don't think I like him as a person. So I don't want to pay him money.
Oh yeah, I actually like Guns N' Roses back in the day, and some of their stuff is kind of cool. But oh man,
I'd say like his music's good. I like Guns N' Roses. I could probably still sit here and listen to a Guns N' Roses album. If they went and said, hey, would you like to meet Axl Rose or get $5 off your next time you go out to the store, I'm like, I'll take the $5 off, please.
Yeah.
I'll get more use out of that. Yeah, he's they were on tour with Metallica, and Metallica, here we are mentioning them again. They're very much like, if we say we're going to be on at a certain time, we're going to be on at a certain time. And Axl Rose, on the other hand, he likes to go and say, well, I don't feel like going on yet, so just make the people wait. And I guess that really pissed off Metallica. They're like, the people are paying to see us. If we say we're going to be at 9:00, I mean, okay, 9:05 maybe, but that's it. You're on. Not this, I don't feel like going out there because I'm not drunk enough and I hate my life and everybody hates me and I gotta be wasted in order to be out there. And even though I'm wasted, I still grew up on stage because I'm fucking wasted. You're wasted.
That's an artist.
What's that?
That's an artist.
Yeah, an artist. Okay. Have you heard Chinese Democracy?
Yeah.
Shitty album. Very bad album. Okay.
All right, Ben.
Oh, do you want to go into like the singer-songwriters of the early aughts or the 90s? Sheryl Crow. I used to love Sheryl Crow, and now I don't think I could listen to a Sheryl Crow album all the way through.
I think I had like one Sheryl Crow album, and then after that, it was like I think her first album, and then after that, I'm like, I don't want to touch this ever again.
To this day, if I go and watch a live thing and there's a girl playing an acoustic guitar, I'm like instantly drawn to her. It's just it's an attractive thing to me. And to me, Sheryl Crow was just like, I thought she was like super hot and everything. And like now in hindsight, I'm like, I don't know like why I was ever into her, but like I had all her albums, and I'd listen to them like. And not like over and over and over again, because normally, like, well, back in the day, you only had a CD player that only played one CD, so you would listen to one CD over and over again. But
she was a little too whiny, I think, for me.
Are you strong enough to be my man, my man? And then she had like a live concert that was in the rain, I guess, out in New York, and they recorded the whole thing. And it was just literally like all the songs that it was like a greatest hits album. which would have been great, except she also released the greatest hits album.
Which is all her songs again.
There
were some artists that did that, where it's just the greatest hits, they just rehashed all their songs on their CDs. I wish I remembered who that was.
I mean, it's like if they ever did a greatest hits of Boston, it's literally just going to be their first album with one song off of one of their other albums. Because that's all they did. The first Boston album is awesome. The second Boston album has their best song, and the rest of the album sucks. But they have their best song as their second album.
All right, I'm gonna serenade Dr. G on this one.
Oh boy.
You ready for this one, Dr. G?
Are you ready for this, audience?
And our songs are not all right. So if you want to listen to me, you will hear what it sounds like to choke on bile.
If you want to bang heads with me.
Oh my gosh, dude.
You can't talk about 80s pop idols without talking about Billy Idol.
That's funny.
Here's another dude that did a Rob Zombie where he fired his whole band and then tried to go a different route, and
which is gore, but not as obviously. It's not even as a joke. It's just sort of like kind of seriously trying to do gore, like but serious.
His singing, it did it to me finally. Finally got me to the point where I couldn't listen to his singing at all.
You weren't in the mood for a white wedding?
No, dude, it's not Billy. Dude, we're talking about Danzig.
Oh, Danzig. I'm sorry. I got all confused. I'm sorry. I'm all confused.
I don't know how this guy sang 5 different notes in 5 different scales at the same time.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm singing a C sharp diminished, add 14 natural chord in my voice on this one word. It doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
I never got that. I just thought he always did the same old thing. But no, actually, I still like some of his stuff, but it was just so cheesy.
Now, wasn't he one of the lead singers at one point for Black Sabbath?
No, Misfits.
Oh, the Misfits. That's what it was. Who was the second lead singer for Black Sabbath?
Oh, Ronnie James Dio.
Yeah, he's another one. He's another one where like he was good for like a split second, and then it's like okay.
Yeah, it's I'm going the same direction with one of mine. Yeah, dude, it's like Danzig. So much of it is so cool, but it's like, God, that's also so the same old rock. Also, sometimes
you can tell they're the band is like so super good, and then they're like, really, I got to play this simple progression. I'm way above this. And evidently that's the truth, because one of some interview they had with like Glenn Danzig, he said that the band would be in the back of the bus playing jazz music with each other, and that's one of the reasons why he fired him.
Because he felt like I guess insignificant, or what is the word?
Small. Because that's what.
No short jokes. No short jokes. Yes, no short jokes allowed.
All right, Demon Slayer.
That's it for me now.
Oh, do you have like about categorized and like alphabetical and all that stuff?
Yeah, I figured those 2 categories kind of sum it up for me.
Yeah, well, anything that sounds like Pearl Jam, I hear you on that.
Well, Dr. T, you got any more?
Matt?
Oh, you're talking to me? Okay. Yeah, I got some. Okay.
Go for
it. Before I go to that, like I told you, every band wanted to sound like Pearl Jam. Dude, every single 90s guy did like Hootie and the Blowfish. They're all they're all doing the same thing.
Yep.
Hootie was so bad with that stuff. Okay. So many of those bands. Oh my God.
And I like the lead singer from Hootie and the Blowfish is like a big time country singer.
Okay.
So he's
still around?
Yeah, Darius Zucker. He's a country singer now. He's actually doing really well. He's probably doing well. I mean, he had a bigger hit with Hootie and the Blowfish, but I think it's his longevity is better with country.
Okay, Hootie fact time. There's one of their hit songs, "Let Her Be," is the same as "Let It Be," except they say "Let Her Be" just like a Sesame Street song that it does the exact same thing.
Actually, I think that song's called "Let Her Cry."
Oh, but he does say "Let Her Be" at one point, right?
Yeah, he does say "Let Her Be" in it.
And there is the Sesame Street song where they did "Let It Be" about a letter B.
Yep.
Word.
Yep, remember that one.
Let Her Be.
I saw the giant bee coming down from the sky like they did in Sesame Street. Every time I heard "Let Her Be." Okay, all right. Now my thing, talking about Ronnie James Dio. That actually I like that guy. I love that some of that stuff. But think back now, and it's like one of the ones I was going to mention is Iron Maiden. Some of them, their stuff is still really cool, but it's it's dork metal.
Iron Maiden is like with me is like AC/DC, where there's like a group of their albums that are really good, and then after a certain album, it's just like
Yeah, but I mean, even like the first one with what's his name, the dude that does the operatic voice. I forgot his name. I can't believe I forgot his name. I was so into that band.
Their original lead singer.
No, the original lead singer was cool, but
and then you got Bruce Dickinson. You're talking about?
Yeah, Bruce Dickinson. Yeah. No, he did this thing, and I love it so much back in the day, and some of it's still really cool and everything, actually, but oh my God, is it so dorky? 666, the number of the beast.
I love it when you listen to their live concerts and he gets so lazy and he's like, "Sing it for me." It's like,
oh God, yeah.
You're paying to see you sing.
I need a break.
I can't hit this note anymore. You sing it. You paid to be here. I'll stop working.
But even their good stuff was just horribly cheesy. It's like, oh my God, he sang like, tell me why I have to be a power slave. That's really what the song says. I'm like, oh my God, was I that bad of a dork?
Iron Maiden is one of those bands where if you got their best of collection, that's pretty much what you need. You don't need much past that. Just get their best of. It's got Power Slave's a good song. That's on their best of. All those like the Number of the Beast is on there. I mean, if you want to start buying their individual albums, The Number of the Beast is a good place to start. That's an excellent album. If you want to get one of the newer, when I say newer, this is from 1992. It was newer to me because it came out when I was a fan of theirs. Fear of the Dark was always a favorite of mine. I really do like Iron Maiden is still one of my favorites, but not their entire catalog. My God, no, not their entire catalog.
Yeah. But even their great stuff is still like so. Oh my God, I really love that, and I would sing that out loud. But it was. Oh man, one of their albums is.
I think if you went to one of their shows, he might hand the microphone to you and let you do his job for him.
Yeah, and I can sing a note for 1 minute straight. But what was it? One of their albums, the later ones, it was '88. This is some about the peak when I started to kind of trail off after this. It's horrible and awesome at the same time. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son.
Oh yeah.
It's both incredibly awesome and incredibly dumb at the same time.
Just even the name, the Seventh Son of the Seventh Son. It's Bruce. Stop trying to be. Trying to be smart.
It was actually the bassist wrote everything. Harris, something. Steve Harris. Yeah, he wrote it all, and he would do it all by books. Like I was so into this band that I had like their like special CDs that had like the B-side stuff on CD, and then the drummer would go and talk about stuff for a whole long track. I talked about how they made this song about Dune, and they wrote to the author about the book way back in the day. It was like the 80s or whatever, and so Steve Harris loved his book so much. He wrote to the author. He's like, "Can you give me your permission, man? I love your stuff so much." And the guy wrote back and said, "No, I don't want you singing about this. I don't want your music singing my stuff." And he's got pissed. So he just said, "Oh, well, I'll just do it anyway." But what an asshole. He's a
before we go too much further, Demon Slayer has to go slay some demons.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. It's been great, y'all.
All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming on.
Later, man.
Later.
Dude, and Slayer. Some of their stuff's so awesome, but oh my God, it's so horrible and awesome at the same time. Mostly horrible. And I had this guitar teacher who toured with them. And he'd hang out with him. He said, whatever Carrie, I forgot his first name, or Kerry King. That's right, Kerry King from Slayer. He had a pet peeve that the dude wouldn't play notes that were like 16th notes, 32 notes, 64th notes. He just did this really fast thing, like and didn't have actual note timing.
Everything's a 64th note, and if it doesn't sound right, it's a 64th triplet.
Yeah, exactly, because it's not on rhythm, and I didn't want to sound all fancy and fast, but it wasn't actually playing anything fast. It was just a bunch of mess. But the fun part of that story is the guy toured with him. The guy didn't even like that kind of music. It was all just for the money. The dude's favorite band is Journey.
God. So maybe you should have been playing music with Danzig's band in the back of the bus.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But he never stopped believing. He held on to that feeling.
Yep. Stop believing in the devil, I guess.
All right, Ben, what you got?
I never got into Slayer. I was one of those where it was just a little too heavy for me. Well, let's see, what did I cover so far? Did I talk about Paula Abdul and Opposite Attract?
You kind of threw that out already.
Yeah, all I said was the name. I didn't go into it.
Yeah, go ahead and throw it out then.
Because I'm like, Opposite Attract was like a great song. I remember I was really into her. I thought she was so hot, and I had I knew people who had her tapes, so I literally had like copies of all of her tapes because I never actually bought one of her CDs.
It's gonna be you and her forever.
She's forever my girl.
Oh, you just gotta straight up now tell him.
The song told me over and over again. She said, "I'm forever your girl," and I completely straight up not tell me. She said it was gonna be me and her forever.
But it was just a hit and run.
Well, the good news is you can still see her because is she still doing the American Idol stuff? Is that even still on?
I think she's still a judge on one of those shows. Yeah.
Yeah, you can continue to fantasize her about her forever.
She's somebody who held up pretty well, actually. But she was a cheerleader for one of the teams, probably the Lakers. And
are you thinking of J-Lo, or is she too?
I know
she was a dancer.
There's a lot of singers who used to be cheerleaders for some team or another. It's because these music executives, they go to the games, and that's the only time you see the cheerleaders is when you're actually at the game, and they're like, "Whoa, who the hell is that? Let's tell her she could be a singer as long as she's good and naked." I mean, as long as she does
like them.
Because they didn't make these back. I'm sure there's stories that probably even that Paula would never want to share with people of stuff that happened. And these will all be interesting books one day. I can't get the reaction thing to go away. Oh, there. Okay.
What's that? Go ahead.
Oh, and on the Skype, the reaction thing popped up, and I couldn't get it to go away, but I got it.
All right, so I want to see if I can. I wonder if I'm going to piss anyone off with this one.
Okay.
Okay. And I don't mean you. I wonder if any listeners are going to, because the fans of this one are very much fans of this one. But before I say what it is, or before I sing my little part here, when you're at the bottom of my list when I'm actually listening to you, you're probably not going to do too good, 20 years after. And this is exactly what they did here. And this one is, I don't have any talent. All my beats are programmed for me. Then I grab the mic and I whine, copy and paste to a new CD. Help me make a good album. Help me, my songs have no thrills.
I never liked the
Help me, it's all redundant.
It was.
And all gosh worship my initials.
Who is the guy that was it? Trent Ratner.
Trent Reznor.
Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails, and every single one of these songs is just like, it was another group where I felt stupid because I didn't see the genius that everybody else was apparently seeing in this group.
Okay, so I have one that is decent. I think it's like I don't even Fragrance Apples. I don't remember what the name of this one is, but it's like a 2 CD set. The problem is, I can listen to
Downward Spiral.
Not Downward Spiral. No, this was after it. I can listen to like one of the CDs. I can maybe get 3 songs in. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm good. I listened to my Nine Inch Nails for the year. It's not something you could. I just don't understand people who could sit down and just listen to it and listen to a whole album or listen to 2 albums back to back. It's just the same crap over and over again.
It's I like I said before, like I never really got into them, and I completely see what you're talking about with like it's just the same song.
And I don't think at least it's a level of Korn, like we mentioned Korn, where it's the dead up same song every time, but it's close enough.
Yeah.
And if it's not the same song, it's just annoying techno sounds overload that's blasting out of your speakers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's everybody trying to sound like they're from the future.
Yeah.
I can be I guess lumped into that because I'm Mike has his stories about me going, oh, listen to this sound, and he's like, oh no, check this one out, and
at least you didn't make a full album of that.
That's true.
Over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
and make it like the most annoying techno sounds. Like instead of it's like that's like what it sounds like.
It sounds like Angry Dogs. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay. All right. Fun fact. It's kind of also a little bit sad, but also fun. So one time my brother played for me this Nine Inch Nails album, and he said, "All right, listen to this CD when you go to sleep. Just put this on and listen to it, And I did, and I'm like, dude, that was crazy. And later on, I went to go and try to find the CD that sounded like a bunch of interesting like it sounded like samples of different industrial sounds. It was just like a bunch of sampled stuff. It was just so crazy, weird sounding, just a bunch of weird stuff, and I could never find it. And it turns out I found out from my sister later on that my brother liked to drop a little bit of acid in my soda. So I never found that CD.
Oh man! Wow. Okay. I think that they lifted the thing where I think you could prosecute them still for that. They could.
Oh yeah.
All right, Dr. G, what you got next?
Okay, the only thing that I was just thinking about, the only thing that came in my head was, starting at halfway through an album, because most of it's cool, but a lot of it's also wonky and just such a horrible shift. The Black Album from Metallica, some of it's good, but it was just so jarring to go from Master of Puppets kind of stuff, and I know Injustice for All was a little kind of, I guess, stale a little bit, but it was still cool. It was still Metallica. But when you went into the Black Album, some of it was refreshingly cool, but also strangely just rock instead of metal, and so I like made up a whole version of Enter Sandman that was like buy our stuff, give us dough, and by now you know we get really sold out. It was bad.
I
It just
remember
felt
that.
like that. Yes, yes.
We're off to make 100 grand.
Yes. Pay my band. We're off to make 100 grand.
Which, if you think about 100 grand is not all that much, but
100 grand is like a night they're making that.
No, yeah, a night. Yeah, so we're off to go make that in one night.
Oh, okay, I get you now.
Yeah, it was like you go from to and some of the stuff's still pretty cool like that, but to it's just like, what the fuck?
See, I don't know what song it is that they have that I picture as like staple Metallica. It goes like
That's actually one of the kind of decent ones.
Is it, you think from Injustice for All?
No. That well, there was a lot of that in Justice for All, but
no,
I think you're doing Sad But True.
Oh yeah, Sad But
True. No. But actually, I like the fact that they tuned down or replayed on like a 5-string on the bass, and then they tuned down like to C or whatever, and it was like. I like that part. That was cool.
I saw this like Metallica performance live. I think it was when they were doing like those Lollapalooza things, and they brought out their bassist, and this was the I guess second bassist they had, the one they had after the
Jason Newsted.
Yeah. And James Hetfield goes, our bassist has a riff for you he wants to play, and it's like doom doo 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 doom doo doo doo, and he's like playing it like as hard and bang his head as hard as he can, but it's just there's like do 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 do, and he plays over and over again. I'm sitting there going, I've only been playing bass at this point for maybe a year and a half, but I'm even above this.
I remember when he left the band, and I'm like, dude, what? It must be miserable working for them then. Because that is the biggest payday you will ever get.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go on to bigger and better. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Don't give me that nonsense. That's bullshit. You're not Foo Fighting yourselves out of this.
Well, maybe he actually wanted to make music he wanted to make, and he made some money off of that, and now he had enough notoriety he could actually go and make whatever he wanted, probably.
Yeah, I mean, now he'll go and he'll be able to sell out any mid-range arena in the country.
Yeah.
While they're selling out stadiums.
But I would rather play what I wanted to play than something I don't like and make crap tons of money if it was like you had to deal with this all the time,
Yeah, I mean, I guess he was trying to do his own thing, and they were kind of like, well, we should be the number one thing, and it's like, well, we're on hiatus right now, and it's like, yeah, but still, you're a part of our band. We don't really want you in other bands. It's like, yeah, but we're not doing anything right now because they were taking a break, and he wanted to keep playing, and they had an issue with that, and it's like, I don't think you should have an issue with that. You could have a side band as long as it's your side band.
Yeah.
When we're going on tour, your side band takes a break.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. That's totally fair.
And when we take a break, go play with your side girl. I mean, side band. Sorry, go play with your side band.
But that totally sounds like the Lars Ulrich. They're gonna take a few dollars from us. No.
Yeah, people are gonna be buying. They're gonna be going to your concert thinking that we have something to do with it because your name's attached to our band. I bet you that was one of the arguments too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
It's the whole thing of like, well, we don't even want any attachment to this, and like, but was he gonna go like wearing a mask? Not that anybody really knows what he looks like, but I mean, I know what he looks like, and you guys do, but we're fans, and the normal John Joe public.
All I remember is curly hair flying around.
Yeah, they're not gonna remember what this fucking dude looked like. So like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's bullshit. I think as long as he's there for all the practices and he's not fucking up the job he's doing for you, if he wants to go work a side gig, he should be allowed to do that.
And here's the thing. He's a bass player in Metallica, therefore you don't hear him except for an occasional blah, 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 and that's it.
Yeah, when they're playing like For Whom the Bell Tolls, it's like the only time you hear from him.
Yeah. and you hear occasional rattle sound, blah, 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 blah. That's about it. I'm serious. Like when I checked out this had this special CD that had like it had them playing One live, came out around that kind of era, and it had it was like a Japanese single on CD, and it had their demo of the song One, and it was on a 4-track, and they were explaining it only had 4 tracks, so there's no bass, and it sounds just like the regular song because you don't hear him.
Yeah, they took him completely out of the album when they did their first album because it's a hazing or something. I'm not even sure. I never even heard a actual legitimate answer to why they did that.
I think it's because they want the crunchy guitars, and they're like, this other bass thing's getting in the way of my crunchy guitars.
That Kirk Hamlet. Let me tell you, that Kirk Hamlet.
Hammett, yeah.
That Kirk Hamlet. Does he go out there and he has the skull in his hand and say to play or not to play?
And he looks at the bassist and he goes, "Not to play."
There's the rub.
Well,
all right, Ben.
Okay, there's a habitation in the middle of the road for the vegetation of the towns we know. There's something that hit down low, something down, and the hit that's flow. Back.
Oh, back. Oh, that one that does Loser, right?
Yeah, he also did you're a loser, baby. So why kill me? Oh, here's arrow.
Exactly. You're nailing it right there. Drive by Bloody Pierce.
Okay. So, some of it's super dope, but I don't know.
It got overplayed though. And also he only had 2 songs that I knew of, and I got a whole album. I was like, that's great. There's only 2 songs on here I want.
He seemed like the one that he wanted to go as weird as he could because he thought that would sell him. I could see him sitting around, with his eating caviar and drinking wine and be like, indubitably, what could I put here that would just be so delightful to the ear?
Yeah, I could see the direction. He was what do you call it? Hipster music sort of.
Yes.
Was he sitting across the table from your video game critic character with his cigarette in his hand, speaking French, with his beret? Remember we used to talk about that?
I don't remember that.
That was a running gag when we first started the show. You were very how you were with video games. It's you're sitting there with your cigarette in your hand, wearing your beret, talking about how this.
But you probably never heard of it.
Shit.
Was that Leader 1 that would wear the beret though?
That might have been Leader 1 who was wearing the beret.
Poor Leader 1. We miss him.
Leader 1, rest in peace, Leader 1. You and the entire GoBot race.
I think you had to be also a hipster to actually like Beck.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like it was one of those things where I'm going to like Beck because I don't want to be part of the group.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that. This is the hipster thing, yeah. But his stuff was pretty. Most of it, I like the what is it? Something like Adelaide. I forgot what it's called. That album. It's I think it's one that probably has that Loser song. There's a couple of those albums I got, and they're actually pretty dope. Actually, the whole thing's pretty cool, pretty much. But then he starts doing some weird stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I get it. You want to try to be different. I just don't like when people try to be strange to be different. It's more like I'm naturally just weird, and I just try to let myself be myself, and people would be like, what the hell is that? And that's going to come naturally from me, and people are going to probably not like it, but I like when people are trying to be real to themselves, And
the only thing I can say to that is, I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me?
I love these perfect transitions. Every one of these perfect transitions, because guess what? All right, so here is one. Okay, so the whole. Okay, so let me put it this way. What is worse than being the artist that inspired this topic? It's being this next artist, because the next one I'm gonna mention. The one word I can sum this person up with is nope. I literally, when I was doing this, I was looking at all my CDs, and when I said I'm going to listen to this person, that's literally what I said. Nope, I don't even want to touch it. I don't even want to pull this out. I don't even want to look at it. So here we go. That one is, why do I make such crappy songs every time? Make such crappy songs, and nothing I do is worth a listen to. Make such crappy songs. I whine and I cry and make such crappy songs.
Okay, I don't even know.
You don't even know who that is?
No.
Wow, I figured Ben would not know. But I'm surprised you don't. That would be Tori Amos.
Oh, okay.
God. Touring your ass? Oh, Tori.
Now, I think there's a limit to where you're such a good musician that maybe you shouldn't be doing music in a popular, I guess, setting, because I can't listen to any. She's really good at music. She knows what she's doing. I can't listen to any of it because it's all just, it's the point where it's so artsy cryy that I just don't want to hear it.
And that's just your thing. I like me some Wallow in the what is it, the whiny, what is it, what is the word, I don't know, it's like kind of that goth mentality where you're just sort of like you just vibe with it. That's just your thing. That's just who you are.
It's not fun and not enjoyable. And when I listen to music, I want to listen to something that's fun and enjoyable. And I just sit there and I've listened. If I listen to one of her CDs, it's just in one ear and out the other. I don't even want to hear it, and it's just I forget it instantly. There's like no redeeming qualities of it to me. She has so many CDs, but I could only think of 2 songs that I would maybe want to listen to. And the rest can just get flushed down the toilet for all I care. So
yeah.
Now she's one of the people that I've seen in concert during that Shauna era. And well, I saw her in concert twice. One time I was sitting behind a guy, and he may have been homeless, I don't know, but he smelled like dirty, wet coffee grounds that had been rolled in dog crap the whole concert. So that made it a little unenjoyable, but I'll say she's good in concert and does some really good stuff, but overall her songs are just too much of whining and crying and trying to be very deep and just I don't know. I can't do it. I can't even want to pop one of her CDs in to hear a song of hers.
That's just your personal vibe, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I like me some of that Wallow and the Misery stuff.
Well, come on over and pick up all her CDs. They're waiting for you.
But being a depressed kind of person, I just don't feel like getting out of the house. So sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. So why don't you just kill me?
Dr. G, what you got?
I think that's about it. I mean, there's so many little things you were reminding me of, like, oh man, some stuff that is like still super awesome, but also kind of annoys me a little bit is like Counting Crows, stuff we were really into and stuff in that same era. Sort of like the whining in the voice kind of gets on my nerves sometimes, but the music itself is pretty awesome. It's still classic stuff. Like they've got a couple of those albums that are fucking awesome, but then it's just the super whininess. It's just like, oh damn, I can't even try to even do it.
Well, Ben here likes Counting Crows. He loves them.
No. Yeah, no, they're good. It's just sometimes that. Oh no, you hate them?
I don't care either way about them. I just
it's okay. Like, I'm not going to be offended if you don't like it.
Tune as soon as you said that, like, oh no, they're not that bad.
No, dude, I'm not going to be offended if you don't like Counting Crows.
I don't care either way about Counting Crows. Like, I if you put on some of their songs, I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, okay. I'm not gonna be like, get this shit off, and I'm also gonna be like, oh, can we listen to more? I was on a boating trip a couple months ago. It was still warm out. It feels like a couple weeks ago. I wish it was. listened to Foo Fighters the entire time. And oh my God, was I ever tired of Foo Fighters by the end of that thing? Do you guys like Foo Fighters?
No.
I don't actually even listen. I don't even know their stuff.
Here comes my hero. You know that song, right?
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Foo Fighters. That's Foo Fighters. I get there and they're like with Counting Crows or like these bands like I could take them or leave them. Talking about bands that I could take it or leave them, another one would be Green Day, and we're on the Boulevard of Broken Dreams, and we need to get off this highway soon.
No, that's I got to say that stuff's good. That's some really good stuff. Mike, clued me onto that. You probably don't like that stuff anymore, but I swear, that album right there, that's some classic stuff.
Well, Green Day.
That's American Idiot. That stuff's awesome.
Green Day's got some good stuff. They still do good stuff, but I'm looking at the time, and it's 12:30 my time.
All right.
Okay, so can I close out with one more?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's my turn then? It's my turn?
Mm-hmm. All you. It's all you.
Tell me, how did I go and get myself a record contract? My music sounds like a whiny crybaby PMS attack on your eardrums, and it's flat, and it's bland, and it sucks, and it's lame, and it sounds all the same. Honestly, I promise you it isn't even worth a listen. No.
I know, it's kind of complicated.
Yeah.
It is kind of complicated.
Oh man, that's if you want someone who's whiny and all the stuff is just sounds dead up the same. There you go.
She is I'm trying to remember her name now. I know who. Avril Lavigne. I had her, or actually my sister had her first CD, and I used to borrow it and just listen to it while I was at work. And the thing is, I thought it was a decent CD, but it was very short. It was like a 20-minute CD or something. So you would hear the same songs over and over and over. This is back when
I didn't even realize the songs were changing, but I mean, she has a couple of good songs, but that's about it. But the rest is just kind of the same.
Yeah, it reminds me of Alanis Morissette. Oh my God, I can't listen to that stuff anymore. I
think the best thing to come out of the Avril Lavigne was the conspiracy theory about her.
What's the conspiracy theory about her?
If you haven't heard of this, the conspiracy theory is that she has a double named Melissa. And depending on who you hear the conspiracy theory through, after the release of her first album and after it got big, either Avril Lavigne couldn't take it and killed herself. And since Melissa was a body double that looked like her, her parents said, just please, in honor of her, keep going and doing her career. And then everything else after this was this lady Melissa. Or it's that Melissa got jealous and killed Avril Lavigne and then took over her career.
Okay, I love this drama. This is fun to listen to.
Yeah, this is awesome.
She probably just had some work done.
But it's interesting because people show, well, this couldn't have happened because of this. And it's funny because Maria's really good at looking at faces. She can't. They have two pictures of Avril Lavigne before and after. She's usually like, oh yeah, that's the same one. The weird thing is she's like, I can't tell if this is the same person really exactly, but she could have had work done to her. They say her voice changed a little, which I can hear her voice change. That could be her growing up. The weird one is though her signature changed. And that's bizarre. So that makes the conspiracy theory so much more fun because it's just so ridiculous.
Rock and roll
you want to jump into a conspiracy theory? Look up Bob Joyce.
Okay.
There's a whole conspiracy that Bob Joyce is Elvis Presley.
Nice.
Bob Joyce is he's a pastor at a church down south, and there's this whole conspiracy because they said that when Elvis used to check in the hotels, he would use the alias of Bob Joyce. And so if you're looking for these type of conspiracies, that's one that you can have fun with. Is Elvis still alive? Has he been pastoring a church down south for all this time, and people are just finding out about it? And
I'm listening.
And it's great though every time they ask him about it, he always goes and says, "I've always been Bob Joyce." And I'm like, okay, Elvis, maybe part of you has always been Bob Joyce.
I got a hunk of salvation.
I've always been Bob Joyce, baby.
Bob. All right.
I think we're done.
We'll go ahead and call it. We'll skip tonight. We'll skip the mix and mic tick since it's so late.
Oh, I thought we were going to just run into that. Okay.
Do you have time for that?
Well, yeah, because they do good. So I would want to get that up on YouTube.
Okay, because
and dude, you played me your new BM song theme song. You played it for me. You did through AI. It's actually good. I don't want to play the whole thing because it's so long, but
I couldn't believe how good it was. Like because I use ChatGPT like all the time, and I use it to do our descriptions. And what I learned is that ChatGPT remembers stuff as long as it's in the same chat, especially, but it doesn't even have to be in the same chat. It'll just remember stuff that's in your account. And I'm like, can you write me a prompt for Suno for them to write a song about the BM show? And it wrote the prompt, and then I stuck it into Suno, and Suno popped that song out, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. It might not need to play the whole thing, but it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so I'll look for it, and we'll play that once done. Once Mike is done with his mixing mic ticks.
Okay, so I'm going to change the one that I'm going to do. I was talking about doing Final Fantasy VI, but that can actually get kind of long. So I'm going to go with a different one that's probably going to be a little bit quicker. So at least that way you can hop off line and get some rest.
Yeah, I need some food. I was going to eat before we started, and I'm like, oh no, we're only going to do an hour.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to start up the. Maybe I won't be doing this one because it's not responding. Really? Oh, there we go. Okay, so here we go. So whenever you game your LeMay. Yes, whenever you game your LeMay. Well, I will teach you the right way to kick bottom when you play. It's time for mix and mic ticks.
No, LeMay, that's French, right?
That is French. Good to point out. So today we are going to go old school. How old school are we going? We are going this old school right here.
The world is veiled in darkness.
Oh, is this original Final Fantasy?
And yes, wild. My controller is not working right now with this. Oh, so no. we're gonna shut it down for a second, and we're gonna have to reboot this game. So hold on one second. We're having technical difficulties. So while
I'm get yourself a snack.
So what I'm going to talk about today is some very low level grinding, and not necessarily grinding for experience, but grinding for gold mostly, because the very first cave you're going to go into in this game is going to the Marsh Cave, and you are going to need to spend a lot of money just to even survive that. So let's see if my controller just does not want to work with this game. So let's see if I can get it to go, or we might not be doing this.
Yeah, maybe we should call it night then.
Okay.
So let me just get into it and see if I can set the, you know why? Probably because I'm on, not sure.
Option. Save that for another time. Let Ben actually eat and sleep.
Yeah, maybe we should call it a night then. I thought we could just jump right into it, but.
Well, I'm seeing if my controller connects really quick. If it does, then if it doesn't, I think it's working now. Okay, yeah, I got control. So I'm going to do this as fast as I can if that's cool.
All right.
Okay, so what you're going to notice, though, is I'm playing the Renaissance version. This will work on every single version of Final Fantasy to get yourself good for the Marsh Cave. However, if you're playing the Pixel Remaster, there is one item that I recommend getting that will not be there because it's been moved. The spoilers on this will be pretty low. You will see an airship, but if you don't know there's an airship in the game, then you probably want to go back to Dragon Quest because this is like in every Final Fantasy game. So the prerequisite for the grinding is going to be to hit this city over here, because what you're going to get is the boat. And you'll get the boat by fighting a batch of pirates. You'll see
Don't you have to get the boat before you get the airship?
Yeah, you get the boat before the airship. I'm not going to fight the pirates. I'm just showing where they are. So when you talk to this guy, he'll put you in a battle with pirates. Once you beat them, then you'll have access to the boat. That's really all the prerequisites you need for this. Now, a lot of people say when you want to grind prior to the Marsh Cave, a good place to do that is to go down to this area because you're going to fight a lot of ogres and creeps together. I advise against that for a few reasons. One is ogres hit really hard, so you're going to have to heal yourself constantly. Two is that when you heal yourself, the closest place is Elfland, where it's the most expensive place to stay. And three, the big reason is that this also has arachnids and asps in this area, which poison. And every time you get poisoned, it's going to cost you 75 gold. And you'll probably only get about 60 gold for killing them. So you actually could end up losing a lot of money that way. And they seem to have like a 2-person quota in every battle for poisoning. So instead of going to that section, the place I recommend doing it is right out here in the water for a couple reasons. And we just found the main reason right here. Whenever you're out in the water, these are actually the monsters that you're looking to encounter. The reason why is if you fight an ogre and you fight some creeps, you'll get probably about, I think you get about 190 gold for killing an ogre, and creeps aren't very much. These guys don't have very many hit points. And why am I doing this the hard way? But every one of these kills is 120 gold a piece. So, and you're going to see a party of anywhere from about 2 to 5 of them. So I'm going to show you, compare some of these monsters here. So there we go, 480 gold for killing 4 of them. Now I'm going to go into, let me go to the ogres. Let's see what the ogres make you. To the ogre. So an ogre is 195 gold. And at most you'll have 1, or at most you'll have 2. Most likely you're only going to see 1 in a battle. The other benefit to going out here is you'll have access to the first city where you started. Elfland, the inn is going to cost you 100 gold. Here it's only going to be 30. So what you're looking at price-wise basically is down here in Elfland, there's a couple weapons that you'll want to pick up, or some gear that you want to pick up. If you have any sort of fighters or red mages, then you'll definitely want to buy down here the silver sword. That's going to run you 4,000. That's why you're going to have to grind quite a bit. Armor is going to run you probably about 1,000 or so. If you're getting spells, level 3 spells, you can get 1,500 a piece. And level 4 spells, if you get up there before going in the Marsh Cave, is going to run you 4,000 a piece. So that's why the best place to do that all is in the water. You'll be close to the cheapest healing, and you can encounter some guys that will give you up to 600 gold a fight, which is pretty good when chipping away at that 4,000. So, and we can go ahead and leave it there. After that, once you get all that gear, you can pretty much run through the Marsh Cave no problem. And pretty much anything after that, as long as you're still grinding a little here and there and hitting the Peninsula Power, it'll make this game a lot easier than most people say it is. Or most people say it isn't.
All right. This is what you're supposed to do in these shows, right? You're supposed to play your music when you're getting towards the end of it?
Yeah,
I think so.
Play it through your phone into your microphone, of course.
Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in, and this is one of our long ones.
Yeah.
Which we usually, when we have a packed house, we usually go pretty long when we have the more people we have.
Actually isn't that long. We're at almost at 140.
Yeah. It was because it's so late. Like, you know, I'm coming up on 1 o'clock in the morning.
So next week we have a Watch Us Die.
Yeah, we're doing the new Mighty Morphin Power Ranger game, right?
Power Rangers baller game. Yep.
Yep. So this did come out so good.
Yeah.
Anything else, Mike?
That's it. So we'll just go ahead and say good night.
Good night.
And enjoy